video for band workout number 3. And in this workout, you're going to need the door attachment and you're also going to need your ankle straps. Go ahead and place your ankle straps on before you start the workout. You're going to need them for the last exercise of the program, and when they're on, you don't have to waste time putting them on in the middle of the workout. All right, I have designed this program into 2 parts. We do all of the exercises in which the door attachment is above the door, and then we will do the second part by moving the door attachment to under the door. So the first exercise we have is a chest press. So we're going to take our handles, face away from the door, walk forward until we have enough tension in the band to begin with, chest out, and then we're going to press our arms forward and come back in. Here. The next exercise that we have is called chest flies. And when we do chest flies, we're going to move our arms out. Make sure that the elbows are pointed back, not down. So I lift my elbows. I have a slight bend in my elbows. And now I'm going to bring them in front of me, and then back out. So I'm never going to be bending my elbows. They stay slightly bent through the whole movement. The next exercise we have is rear flies. When we do this one, we need to be facing the door. We grab the handles, walk back again. You can turn your hand so that you would be doing a thumbs up if you point your thumbs up here. You're going to lift your elbows so that they're pointed out, not down, and you have a slight bend in your elbows. Chest out, and now you're going to pull back and then come forward again with the arms. Again, just like the chest fly, I'm never going to be bending my arms. I'm not bending my elbows, and I'm not straightening my elbows. They stay slightly bent through the whole movement. And in this exercise, we're training the upper back. After that, we have W pulls. And when we do the W pulls, we're going to start with our arms straight in front of us, wrists about shoulder width apart. And as I pull the bands in towards me, I'm going to bring my wrists up and bend my elbows. And in the final position, this is where it looks like a W. That's why they're called W pulls. Chest out the whole time. So on this one, we're getting the back of the shoulder as well as the upper back. The next exercise that we have is a lat pull down. And this is an exercise that you're going to do seated on the ground. So when we do the lat pull down, we're trying to get those muscles in the back that we use when we do pull-ups. So in order to get the right angle, when you sit on the floor, you're going to have your chest out, but you need to lean slightly forward in the movement. So I lean forward a bit, chest out, and now I pull my arms down here, like that. If I'm up, it's going to be a little hard to get the right angle. So just lean forward a bit so that we make sure that we're activating the lats. The last exercise that we have is triceps overhead press. So our arms are going to start slightly above our head. We're going to bend our elbows and then straighten our arms. Bend the elbows, straighten the arms. Okay, so that's it for the exercises that we do with the attachment above the door. Now I'm going to move the attachment below the door. So I just slide this. And shut the door. All right. So the first exercise that we have is a bent over row. So I'm going to grab my handles, feet about shoulder width apart, chest out, shoulders back, bend my knees a bit, and now I'm going to bend over into a 45-degree angle. And from here, I'm going to pull my elbows in. Here. Always make sure that we keep our back tight. We never round the back. So you have an arch in the back, keeping your chest out, pulling your elbows back. The next exercise we have is a shoulder press. And to do the shoulder press, we need to face away from the door. I grab my handles, I lift chest out, so the bands are behind my arms, and I'm going to straighten my arms above my head and come back down. Here. The next exercise that we have is a front raise, so I can stay facing away from the door. I'm going to have my arms slightly in front of me, chest out, and I'm going to raise my arms in front of me and back down. The next exercise we have is a lateral raise. So on this one, I'm going to face the door, walk back a bit, chest out, and now I'm going to lift my arms to the side and back down. There. And that really gets the outside of the shoulders. The next exercise that we have is called pull-throughs. So this exercise program is a little bit different in regards to training the legs. We don't have any squats. We have this exercise that's called a pull-through. So in order to get in the right position, put your handles together, straddle your bands, and walk forward so that you have pretty good resistance to start with. Now, we're going to be training our glutes. So to do this exercise, you're going to use a lot of bands so that you have a lot of resistance. When we do this exercise, chest out, I'm going to unlock my knees. I'm going to press my hips back. And then as I come forward, I'm going to extend my hips all the way so that I have a contraction in my glutes. So it's called a hip hinge, where I throw my hips back and then I throw my hips forward, squeezing my glutes at the end position here. So with a lot of resistance, you're really going to feel the contraction in your glutes. The last exercise that we have is called kickbacks, and this is the one where we're going to use our ankle straps. So I'm going to undo the handles, and I'm only going to use one strap. So this is a really good tip. If you're going to be using all of your bands for some exercises, you can go ahead and loop all of the bands through your attachment before you begin, and then you only hook on the bands that you're going to use and let the other bands hang. So I'm going to just attach one for this exercise, and I attach both to my ankles. All right, so now we're ready to go. When I do this exercise, I'm going to do one leg at a time. So I'm going to leave my right foot on the ground and I'm going to train my left leg. So my right leg, I'm going to pop the knee forward so it's unlocked. And then I'm going to lock my left knee. So I pop that one back. But you always in this exercise want to keep your chest and your torso upright. We don't want any bend in the hip because it takes away stress from the hamstring. So I'm going to sit up nice and tall, stand up nice and tall. I'm going to lift this leg off the ground, keeping it locked. I'm going to pull the leg back as far as I can without bending. Now I don't feel much. But if I keep my chest upright and just kick back as far as I can, I'm really squeezing my hamstring in order to pull the leg back. My hamstring and my glutes. Make sure that as you pull back, that the foot doesn't twist out. We don't want to rotate at the hip. So you want to keep the toes facing straight when you kick back and when you come forward. After you've done one leg, you would switch. So you unlock the knee, lock the other leg, lift it off the ground. You can keep your toes pointed up a bit, and then I kick that leg back and come forward. It's going to be a lot of balance and stability as well on the leg that's on the ground, and that's a bonus, okay? So those are the exercises that you have for band workout 3. I think that it's going to be fun for you to use the door attachment so that you can really get the right angles on the exercises that we're doing.